McWhorter Custom Rifles presents.
Perfect shot. Welcome back, folks. This week I'm going to start off my whitetail season in southern Kansas with my good friend Perry Ross Trophy Outfitters. I got the 45 XML, I got the new Zeiss V8 NA. Those whitetails are in trouble.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Zeiss Hunting, Forge Carbon Stocks, Hornady Ammunition, Atlas Development Group, and Great Horizon Ranch.
Kansas muzzleloader season, one of my favorite times of the year. And for the last 10 years or so, I've been lucky enough to draw a tag every year. Most every year I've hunted with my good friend Perry Ross Trophy Outfitters. Perry's been an outfitter out in this southwestern part of Kansas for over 30 years. They've killed some monstrous bucks. He's hunted with the whole Realtree crew and a whole lot of notable people, and everybody's been real happy. Perry's a true outdoorsman, and the area that he hunts out there has got some of the biggest whitetails in Kansas. This year, as usual, for the last 7 or 8 years, we've had our 45 XML. We got a few improvements this year. We don't have a rod on in the stock. It's a fold-up, quick detach rod. We got the new Zeiss V8 NA scope on there, so I'm real excited about being able to hunt in Kansas this year with this new 45 XML. So Perry and I had discussed everything. He had seen one really big deer. He didn't have trail camera pictures of him, but he had seen one. So we decided we would start out in that area. So the first day, my cameraman Corey and I, we took a couple blinds, we backdoored this area. It was a big wheat field, and we put up a east blind and a west blind so we'd be able to hunt this and approach it without disturbing any deer regardless of the wind direction. Let's go. That's it. First afternoon out here in Kansas, hunting out here with Perry Ross, and it's 99 degrees about 15-20 minutes ago, but this cloud cover's rolled in. Got a thunderstorm coming, so we're fixing to go get in the blind. Can't hunt the primary blind that we set up yesterday, secondary blind because the wind's not right, but I think we got a pretty good chance of seeing our target buck. I hope we do anyway. So we're gonna take a 45 XML and go make about a half-mile walk and get in the blind. Well, we're all set up in the blind. And about an hour ago, it was 99 degrees, and we got this big thunderstorm, and when we got out of the truck, it was 73, so that's what you want to see. It's the 20th of September, the full moon was on the 17th, so it's 3 days after, so everything's starting to get right again. For about the next 4 or 5 days, we're gonna have really good moon positions during the hunting time. So got our 45 XML with our size scope on it, and we're ready to roll. All we need is a big giant buck. So the wind's blowing out of the south. These deer just ran around the corner. They're fixing to find that pile. That didn't take very long. We just poured it out about 2 or 3 hours ago. So we got another pile upwind up this way. So I expect we'll get some pictures here pretty quick. They're fixing to go get them a good meal right there.
This segment is brought to you by Board & Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Board & Accuracy equals success.
All right, it's our first morning out here in Kansas. We hunted yesterday afternoon. We're going back the same place this morning. I had put up a blind and got it to where I could hunt it morning or evening. We slip in the back, and we're going to come on the back side and try to catch these deer in this wheat field, filtering back to the river bottom. So September the 21st, supposed to be a little cooler today and then a lot cooler tomorrow. The moon is getting in perfect positions. It should be straight overhead this morning and underfoot this afternoon. So looking for a good day. We got a big target buck. We think we're going to be able to hunt the area where he is tonight when the wind changes out of the northwest. So we're looking for a good day here in Kansas hunting with my good buddy Perry Ross. Well, it's our second morning here in Kansas, and it rained all night. It rained on us yesterday, and luckily it quit right before dark. We saw one management type 8-pointer that came out. We had seen a doe earlier, but we didn't have to walk out 3/4 of a mile in the rain, so we looked up on that. So it rained all night, just huge rain fronts came through, so right before daylight it stopped. So we decided that we would come in here and slip in on the backside and get in this other blind. And we were able to get in here without bumping anything. And we seen a 3- and 4-year-old buck and a doe this morning. So the morning hunts out here this time of year are really just quick hunts. So there's a big buck in here. We're going to find him. We're going to catch up with him next couple days. Next day we moved to the blind on the highway side, but no sign of the big buck that Perry had seen. So at this point we're thinking about looking at a couple other places and maybe giving this a little bit of a rest. So Perry had seen this real big buck. Perry knows a big buck. So spent a couple of days, the first couple of days, just looking at Onyx, trying to figure out in this whole drain system where this deer might pop out according to the food sources. So we'd already set up the 2 blinds on an isolated back wheat field. There was a front wheat field that actually went all the way up to the highway, but it was 600 or 700 yards off the highway, and the deer weren't paying any attention to the traffic. So I put another blind out there to hunt yet another wind condition, hoping that deer would pop out there. We hunted the first 2 or 3 days. We saw plenty of deer. We saw some really good up and coming bucks, but there was no sign of this big shooter that Perry had seen.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by McWhorter True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School, Leo Photo USA, Brux Barrels, Trigger Tech, Hawkins Precision, and Borden Accuracy.
A couple of more days into the hunt, Perry got a glimpse right at last light of what he thought was a really, really big buck. It was right at dark, said he had his head leaned back. So the next day, middle of the day, Corey, my cameraman, and I went in there. I found a good hedgerow where I could be on the corner of this whole CRP where this deer came from. Had the wind was going to be from the northwest, so we were sitting to the southeast. We established a natural ground blind in there, and we slipped out of there waiting for the evening hunt. All right, it's day 6 and it's heated back up. Truck's saying it's 87 right now. Sure was nice for a couple of days with cool weather. We saw a lot of deer, but Perry found another real big one and put his eyes on it yesterday afternoon, so we came over here at lunch and got all set up. We're gonna have to sit on the ground. The problem is the wind is still northwest from this morning. It was supposed to change at about 2 o'clock, southeast, which is perfect for where we set up our little ground position there. So what we've decided we're gonna do, we just stay in the truck where all our scents bottled up. We'd spray down with a scent thief and everything, and then when the wind finally changes that last hour, we can slip in and get into our position where we can see this CRP in this field right before the Milo field. So that's our plan. We'll see how it works out. Getting late in the hunt, we need to get a big one to walk out in front of us. Welcome back. This week we're going to talk about the baddest muzzleloader on the planet, our 45 XML. John, you've been with us for about a year. You've seen these in action. What do you think about these guns?
I mean, to be honest with you, this is, when I first saw it, I didn't even know it was a muzzleloader. I thought it was just a normal rifle. But I can tell you this, in capable hands, this is every bit of a 600-700 yard rifle. It provides the user access and placement in early or late season that they normally wouldn't get in a lot of states with a traditional rifle. And the learning curve with this muzzleloader is nothing like a regular muzzleloader. The learning curve with this one is so
very
smooth.
simple. It's user friendly.
That's it.
And even states that have started allowing straight wall cartridges, this has got more than double the range of, say, a 350 Legend or a 450 Bushmaster. Absolutely. I mean, this gun is easily a 600-yard gun in capable hands. So one of the improvements we've made here lately, we've been doing this for about 8 years, is we got this detachable rod, and we did this instead of inletting the stocks for the rod and coming out here and having to have a barrel band. And if you ever have to have a follow-up shot at long distance, you know, you got a little different harmonic without your rod attached. So we took that away. We don't put the rod in there, but we got this nifty quick detach rod. So all it does is you're ready to push it down right there. If you want to clean with it, you're going to screw it together and it'll pull your brush back up and down, but that goes in this handy dandy patch on the bottom of your sling. It's very accessible. So
what does this thing shoot right here, Mr. Allan?
So it shoots this 325 grain Pittman bullet. We got 3 smokeless loads. One's 2750, one's 2900, and what we call the big boy load is 3100 feet a second with a 325 grain bullet with a 448 G1 BC. So that is some flat shooting gun. All the accessories come with it. We teach you how to load it and teach you how to use it. When you got this in your hand, this will outshoot any factory centerfire rifle on the market.
Absolutely. And we cover these in the True Precision Shooting School.
If you want the best muzzleloader you can get, give us a call. And that's your downrange tip brought to you by Allan and John and McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Armageddon Gear, Mesquite Creek Taxidermy, Hell's Canyon Barrels, Gun Foam, Boyd Harness Company, and Metal Spinning Targets. This segment is brought to you by Atlas Development Group, makers of the finest premium rifle cartridge cases on the market. Proudly made in the USA. Our stringent manufacturing process and raw materials yield superior results.
So this is getting pretty late in the hunt. It's the 6th day of the hunt. We get in there plenty early. You know, it's still hot as blue blazes. That's just the nature of the beast there during muzzleloader season in southern Kansas. And we saw a few deer down at the other end of the field. We saw 1 or 2 deer headed towards the rack 'em up. And right at dark, this really big bodied deer showed up at a distance out in the CRP. I hit him. I think he's down. So as soon as the buck finally presented a good broadside shot, I had myself convinced that this must be the same buck that Perry had seen the previous evening. I lined him up, I'm on the Leah photo, I touched that Trigger Tech trigger off, heard the thump, and knew I had made a perfect hit on this deer. And we've been here 6 or 7 days now. So, and it's right where Perry said he saw this giant last night, so I'm hoping it's him. I know he was a big, mature buck. He had a real vivid throat patch, and that's what Perry said he had, so I think we just killed him, so. The area that this deer was standing in was CRP that was from waist high to head high. And Corey and I felt like we had lost sight after 60 or 70 yards. We felt like he hadn't run but 60 or 70 yards, so we both gave it a little time. We went in there, we got our flashlights, we looked everywhere. We felt like we had stepped all over him, but we called it a night and decided to wait till the next morning and go back in there and retrieve the deer. Well, here we are. Last evening we shot this buck at about 327 yards with a 45 XML, and as you can see, we center punched him, but he ran about 60 yards just running dead on his feet, and me and Corey, the camera guy, we got out here and we stomped around this CRP, and we were trying to get our bearings on a light tower back behind us here, and we stomped all over him and didn't find him, so we gave him till this morning. It was cool last night, so the meat's probably still good, but we found him. He's I don't know. Pierre, how old you think this deer is?
I'd say 7, 8 year old.
7, 8 year old buck. And Kansas has got a whole lot bigger horns than this out here on some of their bucks, but this was just a good buck to take. We'd hunted hard for about 7 or 8 days and put up blinds and ran trail cameras, and we're just happy to have this deer. We had a great time out here, had a whole lot of our friends and customers out here, and some good food and a whole bunch of good laughs. And and a good buck to take home to Georgia. So thank you, God, for letting me hunt these magnificent deer. It's just something I've done my whole life, and I love it. And this is a fine deer to take on the last couple of days of a hunt. So 45 XML with the brand new Zeiss on it. Got a boarding action, Hawkins mounts, and Hawkins bottom metal, and all of it just came together. We made a good shot, and just thank the Lord. Although he wasn't the buck that I thought he was a really good, we looked at his teeth, he was a really good old buck. Perry estimated him to be 10 years old, and he was just an old warrior, a true trophy in his own right, just not a huge rack. Kansas has a lot of giant bucks out there. Some years you're gonna kill them, and some years you're not. It's always fun to go out and chase these South Kansas monsters.